close that shit right now. You're in
Orbidi gal anwirial sing Ni vifnib an eindrechi Valchadi ni trochi Pride of line ranun Milnagui Bodain Vigoduni
Okay, cool. So I'm gonna make this fucking quick. Hey guys, this is Jay, owner of Full Breach Milsim. I just wanted to make this short video to let you guys know that FBM is currently holding applications for this year still, as well as applications for next year. I just want to make it clear that we're not here for bullshit, that all the applicants who are sending us their answers and questions need to be straight up from the heart and not from their ass. This is pretty much going back to when we first started, as well as our previous batches, letting you guys know that, hey, if you got through those 8 months of prospecting, congrats to you guys. Really appreciate you guys going through that and actually getting onto the team. But those who didn't, look, got nothing against you guys, but I expected so much more from you dudes. You know who you are. You know, hope you guys do better, and hope to guys see you guys around wherever we go, playing at fields and so on. And just to be clear, I have no military experience, got nothing up my sleeves or on my resume that makes me top tier 100% top notch type of guy, but I have that motivation and I have maybe those capabilities to be a civilian, to do things that we're able to do freely because we just can't. So like I said, be better, do better, see better. I don't fucking know. And as our motto goes for Full Breach Milsim, true and fucking real.
We need a. All right, guys. So it's Q from Full Breach Milsim. Today we're gonna be going over comms, and I'm gonna show the XOs, cause you know I'm the RTO, how to use radio shit. Some people on the team, not gonna name names, need to get 152s. The cameraman who's holding the camera needs to get one. Well, my guys,
I know L3A is 152.
this is the 152. Another 152. This is the GPS version. A little flex on you motherfuckers. And then push to talk. Not push to think, push to talk. So, step one into the comms journey is getting your push to talk set up and having one radio. So, little example here.
Hello.
Is we got my trusted commander-in-chief.
Hello.
We got TEA push to talk. We got the routed all the way to the back because he's just gonna be the squad leader for this time.
We good?
And we got the TCA 152 here and long antenna in case we gotta reach far because sometimes we'll be far away from each other. Now, because I am an RTO for the team, I have a fucking shit ton of shit going on. So I've got push to talk, 2 radios, and then 2 long antennas, right? For this guy, he's mostly gonna be talking just on one channel, and probably if he has to, he could ask somebody to switch it for him. So essentially he's gonna be running one channel for the squad that he's in. You know, further down the line, I'm gonna try and make him get a second radio so he can have one for the squad and then one for the, you know, higher talk, etc. For Milsim events, I know that comms usually tend to be a you're good. Comms tend to be a big issue. Only reason being is, you know, people don't have the right frequency set up and their settings are all fucking all over the place. So coming down to part 2 of this lecture is when do you need one radio, when do you need 2? So like I said, if you're just a single guy in a team, Sometimes you might have a battle buddy that you're going to be with 24/7, so you might not need a radio, right? But if you're going to be a squad lead, if you're going to be a team lead, or any sort of platoon lead, it's kind of like you need 2 radios. So one for the squad you're directing, and then one for, like I said earlier, higher talk and other commanding positions. So even though this guy's squad lead for right now, 1 radio is fine. But then when you're like me, I have to reach out to him, then I have to reach out to higher command that's stationed at the outpost or something. I could talk to him, and then I could tell my guys what they're relaying to me, so on and so forth. Essentially, most of the time, you'll see a lot of guys running the shorter antennas. Only reason being that they're going to be closer to the squad than, you know, the actual RTO or so on and so forth. So, perfect example. If you're not going to be using your radio like I am, where I'm probably going to have to fadoodle and fadoodle with it, you're going to probably run it like this guy right here. You're going to put it on your back, you're going to reroute your wiring all the way to the back, just so you don't have to deal with any of this shit at your sides. Because sometimes I know people freak out, but this does kind of get annoying, and I'm not going to run 2 radios on my back like a dweeb. So essentially, everything for comms, push-to-talk radio, ear pro. Try and stray away from walkers or ear more like some people have. Not that it's bad, but if you're going to be doing a lot of Milsim West events, which include live fire, or not live fire, simulation fire, and you know there's pyro going off, you don't want to just have earplugs in your shit 24/7. So get yourself some contacts or some sort of Z-Tax and get yourself a little gimbal so you can run it with your NATO push-to-talk.
Or just buy the real shit.
If you have money for the real shit.
Save up.
Yeah, or budget, whatever you can do. Make your own push-to-talk.
PayPal, paid it for.
So, I know we're running Baofangs most of the time because it's the cheapest option, or if you can find some sort of Motorola, cool. I told this guy earlier that I want my team in the near future to start getting into the 152s just so we can look fashionable. We look like we're the real deal. But these ones are just kind of, you know, high-end Baofangs essentially. You can connect it to your computer, you can connect it to your phone if you wanted to. I'm a comms nerd, okay? So I spent about 3 days making a 17-page report on how to use these radios, okay? And so for the guys that are going to be on the team watching this, you're going to get that report in your inbox on your email. And if you don't read it, I'm going to be pretty upset at you, and I'm going to have to probably talk about stripping you from the team. Realistically, as your RTO, I want you guys to be familiar with your comm system so you're not having to fucking unplug, replug in, all this bullshit. Alright guys, welcome to part 2 of comms training. So, a little thing they don't tell you on the TCA manual book is any of the things that I'm about to tell you, okay? So, this is for the non-GPS version. So, you will have 43 menu options, okay? Seems like a lot, but it is a lot. So your first setting will start off with scan FH. You can keep it on or turn it off. It just starts off for frequency hopping. You have your Vox, which you can turn on and off as well. Select the sensitivity of your Vox push to talk. Usually triggers from 1 to 5 pushes. And then you have your volume MD. So your volume MD you can turn on and off and select volume from the VFO A and B, off, main, and sub. Your squelch is going to be pretty important depending on how far you're running. So for my squelch I have it about 5 right now because I'm close to my team. I don't have to have it all the way up. And also it helps you with your push to talk when you talk. It doesn't come out as fucking super loud and high pitch. On these radios you'll have your D weight, which really It's dual standby VFO, but that's not really going to be important for you guys. We'll skip over LED because that's just to keep the light on or off for your screen. And now we have CT and PT, right, which is pretty cool because you have a scrambler for your voice. There's a little knob on the radio that will show when we're back at the cars. It literally just sounds like encryption when you're talking over the radio. Only you and your team can hear each other perfectly fine, but anyone else that's, you know, on your frequency without said channel, they'll hear you in a mumbled fashion. The comp, it's just if you want to make your voice compact, so essentially you're not as loud. And then the WN band, not really, doesn't matter for you guys either. Your Roger, you're gonna keep it turned off. It's just another beep when you're pressing buttons and shit. When you have your push-to-talk plugged in, you can either have it turned on or off. I have it turned on when my mic's plugged in because it just seems to be better. Your step, so depending on how frequent and how much you're moving, your step is going to be either set to 2.5, say you're doing some recon or something. My step is set to 5 because I know I'm going to be kind of talking to a bunch of guys. Maybe they're far, maybe they're close. Really all the other channels and settings apart from your speaker and your reset. Like I said, when you guys get your 152s, I know you're going to glaze and goon all over them. But once we get the channels set right and frequency set right, it's just going to be better for us to run communications without having to constantly yell at each other or be like, oh bro, my comms are down, can you help me switch it? Like I said earlier, you're going to get a Google Doc in your email, and it's going to be the settings and stuff for the TCA once you do buy it. So you don't have to, I mean, we're probably going to come to me and ask me to program it for you. I can do that. But apart from that, it's just going to be easier to use, so you don't have to read in Chinese and then broken English. Radio etiquette, right? It's going to be very limited to squad members. So if you're a squad lead, your top priority on the mic, okay? You're the guy that's basically relaying information to me so I can relay it to command, or so on and so forth. So everyone's probably heard about radio traffic. When you're talking and transmitting, you want nobody else talking and transmitting, because then it kind of breaks up your shit or you're not able to get your word across. I'll give you an example. Troops in contact, they're going to be top priority on the frequency, right? Because they're in contact, they're the ones taking fire. There's the ones that need, I don't know, close support, or you need more guys. If your squad lead's talking and you have to get something across to him, if you're close to him, just tap him on the shoulder, let him know. But if you're on the radio and he's talking to, I don't know, another SL or a platoon lead, and you hear them still talking on the radio, don't press your button and try to break up what they're talking about. Wait till it's over, then get your point across, and that's it. Push to talk, not push to think, right? A lot of the times, I know we think of it as kind of like an Xbox party in our ear pro, where people are talking, so you think you can just press and talk as well. If somebody's talking to another person and they're the only ones transmitting, you're not going to get your point across. If not, you're going to break up the contact that they're already talking about. So what I like to do, and what most people do, is you press to talk, you wait a second, you communicate, and don't just let off like, you know, you're done talking. Press, talk, wait, then let go. That, like, you know, if you're top priority in your calls, make it more where you and your team know when to use your radio, right? So if it's just something where you're doing CQB, you're mostly going to be talking to each other. So, but if you're doing something where squad 1 is over here on the other side of the mountain and squad 2 is on this side of the mountain, you're both battling for the middle, you're just going to want the SLs to stay connected. Like I said, the squad guys are going to be on the same channel that is the squad channel for everybody. As long as you guys know not to talk while somebody else is talking, or try and talk while somebody else is talking, so it doesn't break up the communication. Kind of just think before you speak, because, you know, most of the time, if you can just say it out loud, like I said earlier, do that. But if it's something important, you know, hey, let me get on the horn, you know, your call sign, and then you reach out to the other call sign. We need immediate cast or something like that, then you'll get everything on the ring around. So yeah, I know it's going to be kind of tough when you press your push to talk, because you're going to be like, all right, well, I'm already going to start talking. But sometimes press it and you're just thinking hot shit. Like, you're not really saying much except and that can become a problem, because maybe some guy is actually trying to like communicate something's going down and you're still on the horn being a goober. Really, when you're talking into your radio, think, don't just do. Really say what you have to say, and remember that you're pretty much limited to about, I believe, 60 seconds on when you can communicate, and you can also switch that if you want to do it for longer or shorter. But yeah, so just think about what you say, get it on the horn if you have to, but remember, have etiquette when you're using radios, because you're not just speaking freely. You have to really communicate what you're getting across.
Onyx 1-1, this is Alpha 1-1, all packs are RTB, over. Alpha 1-1, affirmative, we'll go.
So, as you see, I reached out to the squad lead of another team, and then I said that we are returning back to base, which I have all my guys, and we're going back. Start off with the call sign that you're reaching out to. Then you say, this is Alpha 1-1, so that's my call sign. We're basically calling each other, so we're not being like, hey, Brian, hey, Jake, come over here. It's just easier to get the attention of the person, because that's their specific call sign. And then he's relayed back information to me. He said, I'll copy, and then over. You can relay your traffic without having to say over, but it's just kind of common knowledge that you say over when you're done transmitting. Depending on how long you're talking, it could be for, a few seconds, but for him it was just a quick relay, letting him know that we're RTB and then we're coming back. Right now, we didn't have anybody talking over us. It was just pure push, I talk, push, and then let go, and then let him respond back to me and relay his information, and then that's it. And then with the radio jargon, if you're like super into it, you can use code words, or you can be like, hey, we're going back to base, or everybody uses RTB, or people love saying Roger. So just depends on how you are comfortable with transmitting. If you just feel like free talking, remember just to push, wait a second, then start transmitting, then done transmitting, let go, and you'll be chilling. So radio checks and radio jargon. Lima Charlie or 5x5. When you're doing a radio check, you're making sure everybody's radio is tuned in. I'll hit my push to talk. I'll be like, radio check, radio check. He'll hit me with either 5x5 or Lima Charlie.
Alpha 1, this is Onyx 1-1, Lima Charlie, I'll copy, over.
5x5, over. And then take off running, do what you need to do, get back in the fight. Right now, we're already having some comms problems, right? Because one, he can't talk out of his push to talk. So if I were to do a real radio check and he would hit his push to talk and not talk at all, or it's just static, I'm gonna have to hit him with broken and unreadable. So basically, if you're with your boys, you're gonna have them check your radio if it's in the back. You're gonna have to fondle with it, make sure everything's plugged in correctly. And sometimes the source of the problem, guys, unfortunately, while this may look cool, it's because we don't have real ear pro. So another thing to think about when you're using the 152 is that almost everything that you're using with that radio has to be compatible. If not, has to be the exact model for that radio. So this is a TCA push to talk. Nothing's wrong with his push to talk. It's his down lead, and also it's not NATO wiring. So it's not going to connect in here, and it's not going to transmit through here, because this is supposed to go into a normal Baofeng push to talk, so he can run his NATO Pelletors, or however the fuck you say that word. And he just had some Chicken McNugget bites earlier. So realistically, comms are sometimes not going to work for you guys, and that's understandable. But that's kind of what the whole purpose of this video is to kind of troubleshoot your shit, get it done without having to constantly ask somebody to change your settings or whatever. And if you're having trouble understanding radio jargon, there's plenty of videos on YouTube to let you know what certain stuff means. So I mix a little bit of actual radio jargon, and then I also just keep it kind of just civilian, because That's what we are, my guy. Yeah, just make sure you get genuine stuff if you want comms to work. Also, at some point, I'm gonna figure out how to do encryption for the boys so we can have everybody on the same freak and not have to worry about people, the Russians, listening into our radio frequency. But yeah, so like I said earlier, radio jargon, I'm like semi-big into it, not really into it. If you're saying affirmative, copy. Oh, again, if you're in a milsim and say they're using some sort of mortar fire or some shit like that, do not say repeat, especially if you're the guy that's calling in close support or any sort of fire. Do not say repeat, because they're going to repeat the shooting that's just going to happen over and over. So say again if you need somebody to repeat what they said again. Or, yeah, just say again is easier than saying repeat, because then you won't have fucking shells flying over your face. So, your TCAs come already with their factory settings. So the importance one that you're going to most likely be using and really doing a lot of most of your talking is going to be your mic MD. So right here you can see I have the listing of all the channels. That's all 43 that are offered in the standard, well, 43 or sorry 38 that are offered in the standard version. So like I said, your mic MD is going to be your most important. That's basically what lets you run your radio loud, or when it's plugged in you don't hear anything come out of it. So really the settings that are going to be used in here aren't going to be as important. So I'm not going to take it all out so I don't have to redo it, but
Can I take off my holster?
realistically all the settings in here, you're only going to use 2 of them, which is just going to be either your reset or your mic MD from my understanding right now. Everything else is kind of either, you know, if you got a whole system hooked up to it and all this other shit, you can run it off. In a later video or something, I'll explain what all these settings mean. But for right now, those are your 2 important, is the reset and the mic MD. The reset's going to always be to reset your radio back to factory settings, so then you can go back in and do your changes as need be. But yeah, that's been pretty much the radio setup, and also how to use your radio, what to do, and where to run it. So like I said, if you're more comfortable with on your side, you're easy to get to, do it. But most of the time this is kind of taking up a lot of space right here on your side, so like the friend back there, we'll put it on the back side and just reroute it. That's it for comms. Of course, when you get your radio or anything like that, and honestly, I know this seems expensive, but down the line you're probably going to be looking at a pair of nods, and when you have the full setup and everything looks cohesive.
I mean, obviously, we'll put in budget options. Like, if you can't get contacts, Quinn has some ball knowledge for some repro.
Some repro stuff out there that will work with your ship.
Definitely, I think the most important thing is the radio, the push talk, and then
So yeah,
ear pro is like a last thing, right?
ear pro essentially won't really matter, because there are little gadgets that can hardwire your fake ear pro into the real stuff and then work on the radios. What I recommend you do is buy some contacts. Then again, if you don't have the money for contacts, buy something a little bit more understandable, where earmore or walkers don't really apply to this situation, because I just want to say they're kind of like range day ear pro, where you don't really need to hear through them. But apart from that, make sure you get a good push talk. Make sure you get some good leads for your radio, so they're not just like, oh, you know, they're plugged in but they're not working. So these are Nexus from Invisio, so they're not bad at all. I mean, I ended up paying like fucking $250 to $300 for this shit, so That's me though. But yeah, you know, just make sure you have some good gear to run good comms. Because I know a lot of the problems most of the time is, oh, I can hear you, but you can't hear me, or so on and so forth. Just make sure it works with the radio that you're, with the 52 or the 152, or if it works with the bail thing, it works with the bail thing. Just make sure it can run decently without having to be, well, fuck, it's static, or I can't hear you this time, or can you hear me this time? But yeah, so I hope you guys enjoy this comms video. When we do, like CJ said, when we do real comms training with everybody together, I'm gonna spread you guys out, and I'm gonna make sure that with your team or whatever squad, if it's a two-man, make sure that you guys are able to help each other out and not have to be like, okay, well, now we have to walk back and change comms and come back and forth. It's a whole playing back and forth. So get the real stuff, or if not, get the repro stuff that actually works with the real stuff, and don't just purchase something off of Amazon that, you know, clearly is China made. No excuse, like, guys, like, realistically, no excuse for running fake radios, right? I mean, these are considered fake, but they're the best of the fakes, right? They run well. You're able to be compatible with Harris products, so you're not like, okay, well, I can't buy this because this is a problem. You can run a real Harris radio battery on this fucking radio, and you're actually going to get better output energy from the Harris battery than the Chinese version. But yeah, no excuse, guys. Get these. You'll save yourself some problems down the road when your guys are getting mad at you. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Enjoy. Goober Smug 275 signing out.